host. And as you know, I always am trying to bring you guys the latest, the greatest, the newest, the best of everything that is available for your pets. So tonight, first let me apologize. My internet went down, so I'm on my phone, so it might wobble a little bit because I'm trying to work through it a little bit. So, but it's super windy here in Orange County. I feel like we're living like somewhere else. And Lourdes, who I'm going to introduce you to, so this is Lourdes Biancardi. She is from the Animal Wellness Center of Orange County. And hi, Lourdes, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me, Carrie.
Oh my gosh, I'm super excited because what we're going to be talking about is something that I have been noticing a lot lately, and more so than ever before is these joint problems and hip problems and all of the stuff that is going on with our animals. And so the Animal Wellness Center is just going to be perfect for if you're getting ready to listen to this and you're like, oh, what are they going to talk about? What's going on? I mean, we could talk about anything. You can ask questions and all that kind of stuff. But particularly, I want to be talking about exercise and the effects of good exercise for your pets and how it can prevent injuries. And so I brought Lourdes on today because she is one of the owners of the Animal Wellness Center, which is down in Costa Mesa. And behind her, you can see some dogs swimming. So it's so great to watch these dogs swim. My own dogs have gone down there and gone swimming for exercise, but the Animal Center also does a whole bunch of different things. How many vets do you have there, Lourdes, now?
Yeah, so now we have 4 doctors total. 3 of them are veterinarians that are certified. 2 of them are certified in rehabilitation. All of them are certified in acupuncture. Dr. Vulgaris also does ozone therapy, and in addition, she's actually, as we speak right now, she's in Chicago right now getting her certification to do chiropractic care. So we offer that now. We have Dr. Block, who is our chiropractor. So he does it not only on land, but what we also do what is called aquapractic. So that is basically adjustments in our warm heated swimming pool.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah, it's really cool to watch him. I've been in there with him, kind of assisting and holding the dogs, and we'll put a life jacket on them, or they can like step off the steps. We have 3 large steps in there, so it's really kind of cool to see him manipulate and do his adjustments in the warm heated swimming pool. It gives the dog more flexibility, that buoyancy, so it's easier for them to work, and they get to swim afterwards too, so added bonus.
My dogs absolutely love it, love it, love it. Neither one of my dogs have any kind of hip or joint or back or torn anything, but I take them down there just for exercise. So that's kind of what I want to talk about is that most people who listen to me know I spent years in the vet world, and we really didn't see this as a problem. I don't know why it's becoming more of an issue, but I have young pups that are tearing their ACLs. I think it has a lot to do with nutrition and how we're playing with them and what we're doing. So one of the reasons I like going down there is because I want to prevent that from happening, keeping the weight off my dogs, giving them that joint, because it's hard. Like I have a golden retriever who wants to chase the ball and turn fast and all of that kind of stuff. So the pool has just been great. In fact, I got to get her down there. She hasn't been down for a while because it's been cold.
Yeah,
But
well,
the pool's
our
heated.
pool is heated. Our pool's heated, and as you can see, it's indoor. So it's back in our warehouse area. So right now we've got everything closed up because of the winds and the rains, but it still stays cozy back there, and it's heated, and so it's not too bad. And believe it or not,
Right.
we've got lots of swims booked this afternoon. So people are coming because they can't walk their dogs in the rain, so they're going to come in and come swim them. So yeah.
So how many dogs go in the pool at one time?
It's 1 dog at a time, so all of our swims are assisted. And we get lots of calls all the time like, oh my gosh, I don't know if my dog, is going to be okay with the water, or they're afraid of the pool. And I always tell everybody, I said, bring your dog to us. We have a very gentle way of introducing them into the water. We have 3 large steps, and there's a swim deck on the other side of the pool. So we try to make it fun for them, and we try to encourage them, follow us down the ramp with treats. We'll let them hang out on the swim steps. We play with, get some toys. We give them treats. So we try to make it an enjoyable experience. It's not like, we get some pet owners like, oh, I threw my dog in the pool. And of course they don't like the water, or they don't like to swim. So we do it, at their pace. We're gentle. We make it fun. We have toys. We have treats. We have life jackets if needed. So we have a certain way to get them out into the water. We bring them right back in. So, and sometimes it takes, 3 or 4 times, to get them to enjoy it and get used to it. And usually I always tell pet owners that dogs are usually fearful when they get in the pool. And for example, they get thrown in, they can't feel their feet from underneath them. So then they start to freak out
Carrie.
and panic. But once they establish, how to get in and out, then they're like, oh, okay, this is not so bad. Like my dog, Giselle, when I first got the pool, I, testing her out, it's my dog. So, I didn't throw her in, I walked her in, but she's a perfect example. She like freaked out. And she's a big dog. She's a mastiff. Giselle, come here. She's right here. She was swimming today. She is a mastiff, and so she scratched me up, and she just wanted to try to claw herself out of the pool. But now we've got the large steps. I mean, now she's a fanatic. She swims here, 2 or 3 times a week. She's 7 years old. And she also had TPLO surgery when she was 18 months old. So to kind of keep her fit, keep her weight off, the pool is a great way to condition her. So I kind of got off track. I'm sorry.
You didn't.
How many dogs do we have in the pool? So typically it's one-on-one, but we do have some dogs that are, housemates. So they'll swim together. Like for example, today we had 2 Borzoi puppies. So we typically swim them together. They're not so puppy anymore. But so if it's a play date or something like that, and as long as the dogs can swim together, then sometimes in some cases we'll have 2 dogs in the pool, but usually no more than that.
Yeah, I know my 2 dogs they get to swim together, but I just want to point out one of the things that I absolutely love, and maybe other people, because I wouldn't mind going in the pool myself, but it is nice that I don't have to, because I can just go down there and they can swim. And then I just want to point out too, that there's a little blow dryer there too. They have it set up really well. So when you get your dog out, you don't have to worry about having this soaking wet dog leaving. So you can go down, isn't it a half hour, right? You book by the half hour?
Yeah, so the swim sessions, it's a 30-minute appointment, though they're not like swimming for 30 minutes. That includes,
Right.
They come up the ramp, they get in, they get outfitted, and so they're in the pool typically about, 25 minutes.
Yeah, 30 minutes, I gotta say. I mean, well, my dogs are older, but I mean, it's a good amount of time. Like 20 minutes is plenty. So if someone's thinking like, oh my God, they only get 20 minutes, trust me, it's a good amount of exercise. Both my dogs are worn out when they're done doing it. And then I love that you have the blow dryer there. And so you think about like, if you don't have a lot of time and you want to take your dog to the dog park to run their energy, you got to be there for like an hour and a half to wear them out. Although, that's a good thing too. I'm not going to take away from it, but this is such a safe 30 minutes in, blow dry them real quick, and then you can go. So it's so good, especially if your dog has like those joint problems, or I would say, from somebody who's worked with animals, it would be really, really good. I used to do, I don't even think you know this, Lourdes, but I still would do it. I just can't get too many people to sign up for it. But I used to do a fat camp for dogs. And I used to advertise it where people could just bring me your dog for a couple of weeks and I'll get them to lose weight, because it's hard at home, I think, for people. But one of my biggest struggles was when you have a dog that is that overweight, the amount of walking you can do is hard on their hips and their joints, which is where, oh my gosh, having that pool, it would be just amazing for weight loss, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Their joints, going back to my dog who had TPLO surgery when she was 18 months old, and, she's a mastiff, she's a large dog. The pool is just great because it's weightless, and they're able to get a good full range of motion. They get some good exercise, good cardiovascular. And like you said, Carrie, it tires them out. She gets a lot more worked out in the pool when I do, 25-minute swim. And sometimes we go on an hour walk, but she gets a really good conditioning swim, and she gets a good workout from the pool, and it's good on her joints too. So And the fact that she's a large dog and had TPLO surgery and all that. And I'm always careful of the other leg because they say, you know, once one leg goes, the other one goes. But knock on wood, so far, she's now 7 years old, and we've avoided having surgery on the other leg. So I'm happy about that. So I think all of these things help.
Yeah. So what if you have like, I was thinking, you know, maybe like an aggressive dog. Is that something that you guys could do? You could still do like maybe the underwater treadmill where they're not going to be going after you guys in the tub. Is there something for those dogs?
Yeah, and we actually have a dog that comes in, and he's not good with people or other dogs, and he usually comes in with a muzzle. We haven't. His mom would love to swim on, but because he is aggressive, we're not there quite yet. We're working on it, but he does do the underwater treadmill. Once he's in the treadmill, we do take the muzzle off, you know, because he's kind of in an enclosed area. So we're able to stand back, and his mom's there with them. So we've had a couple of dogs that have swam with muzzles, as long as it's the appropriate type of muzzle. They can breathe and they can pant. We've had that too. So yeah, I mean, we can definitely work around it. Sometimes I encourage pet parents, if we have a dog that is uncertain or aggressive, like, hey, you know, come and take a tour, you know, go walk up the ramp a few times. Maybe you do that a few times, and then maybe on your 4th visit, we can start introducing your dog into the pool. So we kind of get them familiar with the facility, the area, walking up the ramp, the deck, so that they're comfortable. So we try to make it convenient and yeah.
I can tell you, I mean, when I took Nevada the first time, the second time I went, she already knew. She already knew. Like as soon as I pulled down the street, she was already like, I know this place, this is where I want to go. And I think it's the best of both worlds for her because they do have all the toys in the balls, which my dog loves. And so I can throw those, and she loves to swim. So, which I didn't think. I remember when I brought her the very first time, I thought, no, she's so afraid of the water. I can't imagine this dog ever getting in a pool. But it turns out she's just afraid of the ocean water.
Yeah.
She just hates the ocean. She wants nothing to do with it, but she absolutely loves the pool. And so I still can't quite figure out my little dog, but if he was liking the pool or wanting her to get out. I couldn't tell because he would go after her and then kind of grab the toy and then try to take the toy back with him. And I think he was just trying to get her out of the pool. I mean, I can't tell. I don't know. Either way, he's getting exercise, and that's all that mattered to me because, you know, my dogs are getting older and, you know, it's important. I just don't want them having to get, I see all these dogs now, and we never saw this. And now I see all these dogs. I see young dogs, little young dogs hurting themselves, their hips, their backs, everything.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I see the same thing too. And being in this business, I'm like, where are you guys all coming from, and how are you hurting yourselves?
Yeah.
So we see
Jumping
a
off the
lot of that.
couch. Some of them
Jumping
are,
off
I'm
the
not like,
couch. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I know that we didn't used to have dog parks and those kind of things, but I see a lot of injuries that are just simply jumping off the couch. Like they weren't even doing anything. They just got off the couch and then now they're limping. So
Yeah.
it's that's why I attribute a lot of it to nutrition, and we're just not feeding the amount of proteins that they are required to eat in order to survive. But that's because I'm a nutritionist. I don't want to say I try to, but I do recognize a link between nutrition and most problems and ourselves and our animals. So I do
Yeah.
think about that. Yeah, and especially the exercise becomes more important if you're not eating healthy, right? And most people don't think they're feeding their pets unhealthy, but if you're not feeding your pet a really healthy diet, they're going to get fat. So at least give them the exercise. So,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we want both, but so what's new at the Wellness Center? I know you said you're excited. You guys have something new there that you wanted to talk. I want to talk about. I want to learn a little bit about it.
Yeah, we're always growing, and we always want to, be able to add new therapies as we grow. So just recently we purchased a shockwave machine, and it's not it doesn't hurt. It sounds like shockwave, like it's, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's going to hurt, but painful, but it really isn't. It's actually like acoustic compression. It's sound wave. So that is really, so we tried it out for about 2 months before we actually purchased it, because it was an expensive piece of equipment. And we tried it out with a lot of our patients here that have arthritis, that are recovering from surgeries, TPLO, tendon issues. And we started to get like really, really good results. And then once the machine away, the rep came and took it back, and we didn't have it for a few weeks. And they were like, "Where's that shockwave machine? I really noticed a difference." So, and then the doctors were like, "Okay, we're believers." We were seeing a difference and positive results. And really the pet parents, because we were telling them, "Hey, we're trying out this machine, so please give us your feedback and let us know, if you're noticing anything." And and they did. And people were telling us like, "Oh my God, my dog hasn't been able to like jump on the couch for a year, and now they jumped on the couch, or able to jump out of the car." But we're seeing really, really, really great results for arthritis, and again, like TPLO surgeries after surgery. It's really great to help reduce inflammation. So we're really excited. We've had that now for about a month, and people are coming back just to do, just the shockwave therapy, and sometimes in conjunction with like acupuncture or the treadmill or swimming. So I'm going to do it
do
on my
they
own
have
dogs
to,
today.
if somebody, I want to try it on myself actually for my neck, because I've been hearing about it.
Yeah. And funny is that Barb, my business partner, she's got really bad knees. She needs to get a knee replacement at some point, probably this year. And she does it regularly on her knees, and says like she notices like a huge difference. And she's like
Really?
bone on bone. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, I am gonna try it for my neck. I've been hearing a lot about it, so I'm excited that the dogs, and what's so great is, dogs don't have the placebo effect that we have, right? They're not going to be like, well, that machine was really expensive, so it must work.
Yeah,
They don't.
exactly.
That's what's so great when we use some. That's why I want to try it on me, because I've been hearing about all these dogs that are using this, and I'm like, well, if dogs say it works, then it has to work, because
Yeah.
they can't
Right.
lie. Like they just don't have that same effect. So it's pretty awesome. So it doesn't hurt,
It doesn't
right?
hurt.
Is
It
it
takes
loud? Is it scary? Is it?
No. So actually, the old shockwave technology, they used to have to put the dogs under, because it was a very loud kind of pounding sound. So the new technology, which is what we have, it's just kind of a little click, 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 click sound. It takes 5-10 minutes, depending on how many areas we're treating. Like sometimes we treat the knee joint, that's probably takes about a minute. So we can treat different areas of the body, the knee, the spine, the elbows, kind of where it depends on where the arthritis is. But usually it's not painful at all. We usually give them like treats, so we keep them occupied. And people always ask like, oh, even for like acupuncture, so how are you going to get the dog to stay still? I was like, we have a way of doing it. We give them frozen baby food, so we keep them occupied. So it's not painful at all. So it's quick, it's easy.
Going back to the pool, how often, as I'm going to ask you on all of these, like how often do you think someone should swim their pets? How often do you think they should exercise?
Well, for my dogs, for example, they're healthy. My one gal has TPLO surgery, so I bring them in 2 to 3 times a week. In a perfect world, time and budget, if you can
Right.
get your dog in here a couple of times a week, that's ideal. But if you can come, once a week, we have typically clients, I would say on a regular basis, come at least once a week. It depends too if they're here for therapy. In the beginning, they may start out twice a week, and then we
There he is.
this is Felix. And then they may come like once a week. But we have like our regular clients that come in typically like once a week for a swim. We have like swimmers that have been coming since like the day we've opened. And they come once a week. These guys are lucky because their mom owns the business, so they get to come
Right.
in 2 to 3 times a week for
Right.
swimming, and he goes in the treadmill. So And these are
So
big
what
boys,
if,
so I want to keep them
so what
fit.
about the shockwave? Like how often, like if someone's treating arthritis, can you do both in one day? Could you like swim first and then do the shockwave? Is
Yeah,
that
yeah, we
is
can
that
do both.
recommended?
A lot of our dogs, and I'm always thinking like, why don't I have this kind of therapy? Like we have dogs that will come and swim, or they're in the treadmill and then they go get acupuncture. I'm like, I want to do this for myself,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Oh yeah.
so and go
Oh
get fed treats while I'm laying there. So
yeah, they don't feed me treats when I go get any kind of work done.
no, no, no. But yeah, that's, I mean, we have a lot of dogs that will come in, they'll swim or they'll do the treadmill. Sometimes we'll do the pool or treadmill first, so that way we
Yeah.
can kind of get them tired when they go in for their like
Oh yeah, that would make
acupuncture or
sense.
laser. Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense. Now, does somebody need to, like, if my doctor, if my vet said, you know, your dog has a torn ACL, and I have all of the, what do I have to go to your doctor, or can you get a referral? How does that work?
If they have a torn ACL, we obviously don't do surgery here. So we do have clients that will come here and maybe want a second opinion. And maybe they've been recommended surgery by their primary vet. And so they may come and see one of our rehab doctors. So they'll do their own kind of physical hands-on assessment and feel if there's like a tear. We'll look at x-rays. We don't have the diagnostic equipment here, but that's why we work in conjunction with all the primary vets. So if needed, we'll send them there to get x-rays. So they can come here. Sometimes, we've got some parents that they've got a really old dog that's maybe 13 or 14 years old, and, they don't want to do surgery on an old dog, which makes perfect sense. So they come here to do like rehab, which could be like the treadmill. It could be some land exercises. It could be laser and acupuncture. Did I answer your question? I think I kind of
So
got
I'm
off
just
track.
wondering, like, I'm trying to figure out how, like, I'm trying to walk somebody through it. If they wouldn't go to you guys if the dog, like, jumped off the couch, now he's limping, they wouldn't just make an appointment with you. This would be a secondary appointment, right?
Yeah.
After.
Yeah. So after they've had surgery, they would come to us for the rehabilitation part. Though, again, back to like if we've got an old dog that's, we have some clients that have an old dog that's, again, 12, 13, 14 years old, and maybe surgery is not an option for them at this point in their life. So there are things that we can do here, some passive therapies to, try to avoid the surgery for as long as we can, or just avoid it altogether. So then in that case, they could come to us first, if surgery for sure is not an option. So
Yeah. So there's definitely times where I know for me, when I got an injury, I went through physical therapy before surgery. So they can definitely try that as a possibility.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And we get clients that will come and try that for a while. And then unfortunately, sometimes, surgery is going to be the best option. And if it's a young dog too,
Yeah.
But at least they're doing, it's strengthening. So it
Something.
makes the rehab a little bit easier, after the surgery. So.
Oh, that makes sense. Definitely makes sense. So what days do you do the swims? Do you do swims Monday through, is it 7 days a week? Like,
Yep, we're open 6 days a week. We're here Mondays through Saturdays, except Sundays we're closed. So yeah, every day, give us a call and we'll give you a swim.
okay. And
Yeah.
then, and you said it's a 30-minute session, and can they sign up online, or do they need to call you?
Yeah, typically they'll need to call us. So that brings up a good point. So, most of the dogs that come here come in for therapy, but we do again offer the pool for like, our healthy young dogs that just want to be active, conditioning, lose weight. So in that case, if the dog is under 4 years of age and healthy, meaning they haven't had any like surgeries, no joint issues or anything like that, then they would qualify for a healthy pet exam. So they get they get an exam by one of our veterinarians. So that's just really just to make sure that there's no underlying conditions. We check the heart rate, that there's no cardiovascular issues. And
Before
then
they
also
swim, they get this?
yeah, so they
Oh,
get
that's really cool.
so it's $75. So they get to see a vet. the vet checks, their heart rate, make sure there's no underlying conditions, that they're good to go, and they get cleared for swimming. And they also get included in the $75 a 30-minute swim session. So, which is
yeah, that's totally worth it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is a good deal. And then
because if
can you, well, obviously, yeah, you don't, I mean, it is scary to think, especially if you're taking an old dog. I know that when I was doing fat camp for the dogs, I had to have them get fully checked by a vet before I would even take them, because I wanted to make sure, like, what's our heart condition, what's going on, because we're going to be doing exercise that you weren't used to doing. So I think it makes perfect sense. And then after they've been approved for swimming, can they buy packages for the pool?
Yep. So we have packages that they can buy. Obviously, it's more cost effective if you buy packages. They can come in and do a drop in. But I would tell you probably 99% of our clients end up buying packages. So,
yeah. So approximately, what would it cost to swim?
I should know that by heart.
I won't take it.
So I think that, like a 10-pack swim, it drops it down to like $60 a swim session if you buy like a 10-pack, and then it's a little bit more if you buy 8 and a 6 and a 4-pack. And the drop-in rate, I believe, is $95.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's okay. I'm bad at that too. Please don't make it think like she doesn't know what she's doing because she doesn't know the prices. I have the same problem. I put stuff up there and then I just kind of start on to the next thing, and then I kind of forget just knowing what the prices are, and then I always feel bad when people ask me and I'm like, I don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah. So yeah, but that still is a great deal. I mean, when you think about the amount of exercise and just to run that and heat it, I can't even imagine the cost that isn't. Plus, you're paying somebody to be in that pool with the dog the whole time and heating it and all of the maintenance. And I can't even imagine the maintenance with all the hair.
Yeah.
Like, look at my business mind is starting to come out. Like, I'm like, oh my God, are you sure 95 is enough? Because like, by the time you pay the person in the pool, heat the pool, clean the pool, maybe 95 isn't enough. Like, yeah, that's my business mind. So, but my pet parent mind is like, ooh, $95. But yeah, totally worth it.
That's the drop-in rate. So I'm pretty certain that like the 10-pack is about $60 a swim.
Yeah. Do you guys have any introductory offers going or anything like that?
We don't at the moment.
Lourdes is like, dang it. Okay, I will come up with one.
But you know what? When we first opened, we would invite people to come in and we do like a 15-minute like free intro swim.
Oh, that's good.
The problem with doing that right now is, again, back to making sure, we don't want to just have dogs come into the pool and, God forbid that, someone calls and says, oh, you're giving me a free intro swim and there's an underlying condition or they've got a cardiovascular issue. And so that's why we always have to make sure that they're checked out by the vet. So for that reason, that's why we implemented the healthy pet exam. So they get an exam and they get a free swim, all for $75.
That's such a good deal. That's such a good deal. I think it's great. So, all right. So what time do you guys open? When's your first swim?
So typically our first swim depends on the day of the week. There's a dog going in the treadmill. Around 9 o'clock is usually.
Can you pan the camera so we can see the treadmill? Will it turn towards? Watch this, guy. Yeah. It's so cool. This underwater treadmill is so cool.
See them getting in?
Oh yeah, we can see it. So did he go straight treadmill.
In? Yep, that's Maya. Maya is a large German Shepherd. She's been coming here for a while now, and she's got degenerate myelopathy, so she's losing mobility, has been losing mobility in her hind legs. And so she actually swims. So once a week she does treadmill, and then once a week she'll swim. So
oh my gosh, it must be so freeing for her, right?
Yes. So if you're not familiar with the treadmill, what happens there is we fill it up with water. So you can see it's kind of a big tank. It's all enclosed. They walk in. We fill it up with water, and typically we'll fill it up to, about the hip level. So in Maya's case, we fill it up to her hip level because, she's not really weight bearing on the back. So that water gives her that buoyancy and then the treadmill's controlled so she can walk in there. And, you know, we can control the speed. In some cases, we have some dogs that are a little bit more advanced in their degenerate myelopathy, where they're not maybe weight bearing quite as much. So we get in the treadmill with them and we pattern their gait. So we kind of like, you know, teaching them how to walk again and relearn and make sure that, you know, they keep that muscle there. So that they don't
so
lose
amazing.
muscle. So I don't know if you guys can see, but right
We
now
can
she's laying down.
Like
Yeah.
she's laying down, but they're filling the water up right now.
Yeah, they're filling up the water right now. So
It's funny because at least from my angle, it looks like the water is above, like she's underwater right now, is what it looks like to me.
oh,
Because
I
there's
think
like
because you
this
can see the
line.
pool. Yeah.
Yeah, it must be the pool or something. I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks like she's underwater sleeping, like she's laying down sleeping underwater. Clearly, she is not doing that. So that's so
No.
amazing. Yeah, I just love it. I'm so happy. So for those of you who are going to watch this whole thing started because Lourdes, I mean, she could share the story with you. It was all because of her dog, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Yeah.
had a dog named Stella who was a French Mastiff, and she inspired this to happen. So she was 6 years old and tore her cruciate, so she had to get TPLO surgery. And I can tell you, you know, as a pet parent, and for those that have experienced that, or hopefully you won't experience it, but you know, it's I remember when going through this with Stella, and then it happened again with my second dog. And for the first time, I was like, oh my God, do I do this? Do I do this surgery? It sounds so horrible because they literally cut the bone and they put a metal plate. And then, you know, it's a long recovery. Some dogs recover faster than others, but I knew that I had a large dog and she was older. But anyhow, Stella ended up getting bone cancer. So that really was the reason why she might have been like lame to begin with. And it was just so early on that it wasn't caught on. So after we did the surgery, she never got to she never really got to use her leg again, and really wasn't putting weight on her hind leg. And so that's why. And I knew she loved to swim. She loved to go to the beach. She loved pools. She loved the water. I called her like my hippo because she would just like go out into the ocean and just like swim like a hippo. And so I was trying to find a place. I thought for sure there's a place in Orange County with a swimming pool and a rehab place. And I'm looking and looking, and I couldn't find something. And I did end up finding a place in LA, in Santa Monica. And so we drove out there a couple of times. And then I found another place in Oceanside that was just a warehouse with a pool that's no longer there. And I was just like, how does this not exist in Orange County? And I even asked their business owners, I'm like, are you sure? Do you have a second location? And they're like, no, we get a lot of people that come from Orange County. So I was just like, how
that's crazy.
And then I was like, I got to figure out how to open up a place with the pool and vets. And then it kind of just expanded from there. And then, you know, and then Barb and I opened this business together about, gosh, it's going to be 3 years in August. So it was about 6 years in the making. It took us 3 years just to find
a building.
We had very specific needs and we knew where we wanted to be. And you know, in Orange County, if you're from the area, space is always limited. So
no, for sure.
Business owners on top of that, you know, the people are like, what? You want a pool and you're gonna dogs and so
you can see. I mean, anytime, I know from my own experience, the word dogs makes people just shut down. When you want to lease a building, it's just a shutdown. I mean, I had the hardest time trying to get my place open, and I'm in an industrial park. I don't even have a freestanding building, but I tried too. It's very difficult. It was very, very difficult for me as well. So yeah. And it's strangely, I feel like my place is cleaner than some of the other places that are around. It's like, your place is so clean. I'm like, what do you guys have to worry about? Like this, it'd be better than having like a mechanic in there with oil and all that stuff around.
Right?
It's much cleaner. It's much cleaner. So, well, I am so glad that you did it. Orange County is so happy that you did it. I know the Spaw's clients are happy. We constantly refer people down there because, you know, they do need more exercise, and not just for the exercise, but if we have problems with some of our dogs that are coming in and stuff. So a lot of the large dogs, but we're seeing it in small dogs. I had a little
Yeah.
small dog get a little hairline fracture right around his knee. He was only 6 months old, and he just turned wrong. And that's the stuff that's bothering me, is they're so young. I'm like,
Yeah.
why? I think genetics. I think we've just messed up dogs for generations, and now they're just genetically having some problems. It's sad. Kind of like our children now. It's like, what the heck is going
Yeah.
on? So, but anyway, Lourdes, I am so happy that you came out. I'm so glad that this is going to air, and we'll get together and talk about some stuff that for you guys that are listening. We're going to try to put together a little party, and we'll let you guys know a little bit about that so that you can maybe check the place out that way. But in the meantime, make sure that Lori has been posting all of the information so they can get a hold of you guys. Any last minute things, Lourdes, you want to say?
We welcome all pets. Again, I always tell pet owners that call and say, "Oh, I'm not sure if my dog's going to like the water." I'm like, just let us try. And like I
Yeah.
said earlier, we really have a gentle way of doing it. We make it fun for them. So,
Yeah. And
we're
cats. I saw,
we've had two. We've had
right?
yeah, real quick.
And
So
cats.
we've had
Yeah.
two cats swimming, not for fun. They were here for therapy, and we have a cat currently right now, and they have both been amazing. Like I was like, I couldn't believe it. Like the first cat that swam in our pool, I'm like, his name was Sebastian. I'm like, oh my God, he has set the bar for every single cat that's ever going to swim here, because no one is ever going to be as good as you. And so we had another cat that's been swimming. Her name is Maggie, and she's amazing too. She
That's
actually is
crazy.
better. We tried her in the underwater treadmill, but she was actually better in the pool than in the underwater treadmill.
That's
And
interesting.
so you can check them out. I don't know if I have Maggie on our Instagram, but I know I have
Are
Sebastian on our
Just
Instagram.
out of curiosity, are they Maine Coons?
No, but we have a
No.
Maine Coon coming to us right now that is doing the underwater treadmill. We haven't put
I
him
just
in the
asked
pool.
because from a grooming standpoint, Maine Coons tend to like water. I don't know what it is, but they
I
tend to
didn't
like
know
water.
that.
We don't ever, very
Okay.
rarely do I see a Maine Coon that's not good, like in the bath. So I was thinking, oh, I wonder if they're Maine Coons, and they just, I don't know.
Oh,
So are they
no.
the same? Just different breeds? Both of them were different breeds?
Yeah, I think just kind of like a mixed breed. Both of them had, don't know much about cats. I'm more a dog person. Long hair cats. One of
Yeah.
them was about 9 months old. I think
Oh,
Maggie is
wow.
maybe 3 or 4 years old.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
yeah, but
That's
they
really
were
cool.
amazing. We couldn't believe it. We were just like, oh my God, like they didn't, you would think we'd get scratched. They didn't scratch, they didn't
Thing.
hiss. We float them out. So basically what we do, if you can see our pool in the back, and we do that for some small dogs too. And again, dogs that are here for therapy, we may float them out to the back of the pool, and then we let them swim to the swim step. So
That's
the
so
cat
cool.
wasn't like swimming back and forth like a dog would.
Right.
And we have a life jacket, but yeah, they're pretty amazing. So
That's so cool.
So give us a try. Swimming is a great exercise. It's a great way to keep your dog fit. Like Carrie said, nutrition, exercise, just like humans, right?
Yep.
Exercise, good nutrition. It helps us keep us young, fit, and healthy, and it's the same for animals. So
yeah. Often our dogs are getting exercise, and our cats even less exercise. I mean, it'd be interesting. I should take one of my cats down there just to see.
we
I
could
might.
try it.
I might bring one of my cats. I have to find these weird ways to get my cats to get exercise. I was telling someone recently, I'm working on it. I'm trying to find some crickets that I can release into my house so they can hunt. Which I know is very weird. I get that. My husband's like, you're going to be sleeping and there's going to be crickets crawling on you. And I'm all, no, I have 4 cats. I think they'll hunt well. But I haven't done it yet because I'm like, what if they don't kill them? Like they don't know how to hunt, because I bottle fed them, all 4 of them. So I'm like, what if they don't hunt and I'm stuck with crickets in my house? So that's gross. But trying to find exercise for cats that I refuse to let my cats go outside. They're not going outside. So I have to find other ways, to hide their food and get them to hunt around my house and crawl and get some exercise. But I'm thinking I might bring one of them down there. We should.
Try it.
Yeah, yeah. I'll videotape it for any of you guys that are watching. And I apologize, guys, if you are asking questions because I can't figure out how to find them on my phone. So I apologize to everybody.
I see a question right now. It says,
oh, then answer it.
You want me to read it? It says, my
Yeah.
12-year-old pup seems sore after underwater treadmill. So stop. Do you think it's worth another try, but with lower level? Hasn't had surgery or been diagnosed with any tears. I think definitely it's worth another try. I'm not sure what you mean by lower level, like lower water level.
No, well, I would either that, or she might be saying like instead of it going faster, maybe it goes slow. I don't know how the ender. You know what I mean? Like maybe a lower level, so it's not going so fast.
Right. No, and typically, again, we start at a slower speed. So again, it really kind of depends on what's going on with the dog. If they've got, high, mobility issues or not weight bearing, you want to fill the water up to about their hip level so that they have that buoyancy. And typically how we do it is, they get in the treadmill. We may just go 30 seconds and we may stop. And then we may do another seconds, and we may do that 3 or 4, really under the what the vet tells us to do. We have other dogs that have been doing it a lot longer, so they may be in there a total of 8 minutes. They're not in there for 8 minutes total, but we stop. They may go about 1 minute to 2 minutes, and then we stop, give them a long break, and then we start up again. But just like exercise, if they're not used to doing it, just like humans are, we're going to be sore if we're exercising the next day. But again, you don't want to do too much too soon. So we work our way into it. We work our way into where we can add, more time. Maybe we reduce the amount of water. So it's not like they get in there and they're like, bam, you're going to do 10 minutes. It doesn't work like that. So it's a gradual increase of time and speed.
Yeah, I would imagine it's the same as, if you haven't worked out in a long time and then you go use muscles that you're not used to working, you're going to be sore a little bit. And then working up to it, I can only imagine that would be the same as it is for us. If you can see questions, please answer them, Lourdes, because I can't see them for some reason on my phone. I
just see that
like,
one. Yeah. And then I know Lisa says that she hasn't had surgery or been diagnosed with any tears. Okay. So, I would definitely something that you could try again. And again, you want to kind of work your way into it. So you don't want to do too much too soon. And again, if there's something else going on with the dog, if they've got, arthritis, acupuncture is amazing. I always tell this story about this little Chihuahua. His name's Giant, and he's been coming here probably about a year and a half now, and it's one of Dr. Tran's patients, and Dr. Tran is just so amazing. She's so amazing that she even went and got her master's in Chinese medicine for humans, so she can legally treat humans. And she really did that, not because she wanted to treat humans, but just because she wanted to know that much more about Chinese medicine and apply that to her veterinary patients. But back to Giant, it's one of Dr. Tran's patients. When Giant first came here, the owners would have to carry Giant in because Giant wasn't walking at all. Like it would maybe take a step and like fall over, and it's got really, really bad arthritis. And slowly but surely, after would come twice a week for acupuncture, and then Giant started taking a couple of steps, and then we have videos of Giants walking around in the treatment room, and then the parents were sending us videos of Giant walking around in the living room. So it's amazing just that acupuncture could do that. So and they would do just acupuncture, but yeah, so
many dogs and cats have arthritis now. I mean, so many. And you think about it, that most of their life, if you think about what an animal was supposed to do in their life, what they were designed naturally to do, right, was to spend most of their life hunting, running, hunting, doing all of that, eating that kind of food, and what we have now, right? Most of us have to work. Our dogs are home long periods of days, sitting on the couch, not doing anything. Then they go for a little walk around the neighborhood. It's not a lot, and it's drastically reduced. And so this arthritis, between their diet and their lack of exercise, the arthritis is just ruining their lives. It's just awful to watch. So many as a groomer, we see, dogs come in who haven't been off the couch probably in months since their last grooming. And then they come in and we have to manipulate them to do a nail Dremel, or it just in the bathtub. They're jumping around in the bath. And the next thing you know, we're getting calls saying, she's really sore. What did you do? And I'm like, we moved her. Just movement. So we got to get out there, guys. That's why I wanted to bring Lourdes on here, because I am seeing such a tremendous amount of pain in animals that I think are absolutely preventable. And Lourdes has a place that is just so fabulous in helping prevent that. This is the cat that I might bring.
Oh, kind of looks like Sebastian. Looks like
she
Sebastian
likes the bath.
Okay.
She doesn't hate water, so I'm like, I wonder if she would want to go swimming. She's a sweet cat, so I'm like, maybe she'll go swimming. I don't know. We'll have to check it out. I don't know if that's
throw some crickets in the pool,
right? See if she'll go out. Like, my heart is thinking, is it cruel to do that to her? But she doesn't hate water. Like, I got her when she was about a week old, and she still had her little umbilical cord on her, and I'm bottle feeding her. But she came to me with massive fleas on her. Just, they were crawling in her eyes and stuff. So I had to put her under the water and get all of the fleas off of her. And then, and she just sat there like she didn't even cry. The other kittens that I was doing were crying and she didn't cry. And then we noticed that every time the water was running, she would go to the sink. And I'm like, I think this cat likes water. So she'll hopefully be your first for exercise cat swimmer.
Give it a try.
Yeah, we got to give it a try because I'm excited. So, and she's young. She's not even 2 years old, so it should be good. So, all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and head off here. I hope to see you guys down Wellness Center of Orange County, the Animal Wellness Center of Orange County, because I know I go down there with my dogs. I'm going to be scheduling an appointment real here soon, and Lourdes and I are going to be talking about the spa putting together a party down there, where I will invite you guys that you can come down, and we'll see what we can do as far as getting you guys involved with some more exercise for your animals. So super excited to look into that. And if you guys do go down there and check out the pool, please let me know. Take some videos, send it to me. We'll put it on the Facebook page. We'll get some likes. Just watching our dogs swim, I think it'll be really fun. So, all right. Lourdes, thank you so much for your time and just educating us on, what is available. Like you said, you couldn't believe there wasn't one. I can't believe there wasn't one. So I'm so happy that you guys, you put that together for all these animals. That's awesome. That's awesome.
We are too.
All right.
We are too. Thank you for having me, Carrie.
Of course. Always. All right. I'll see you guys soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.
All right. Bye.